Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to talk about Crossfields Level 2. Our server recently got access today to it, and a lot of people will be getting access to it tomorrow and the next day. So we're going to talk about the farming route that I took, how it kind of feels to be here, things that I kind of wanted to learn and know. So let's go ahead and dig in. So Crossfields Level 2 is very similar to Crossfields Level 1. It is definitely one of those things where you will want to prioritize leveling up your cube first, because with your cube, the stats are relatively important in terms of how different they are. Getting a tier 6 shard is 317 penetration. Getting a tier 5 at +7 is 317. So literally trying to rush a tier 5 to +7 to get that 317 versus just getting your first tier 6 at 317 is going to make a huge difference. The problem that you're going to run into, though, is actually getting enough penetration to farm the monsters for tier 6. And so there is a bit of a question on whether you should farm some tier 5 monsters first and then transition, or if you should just head straight to tier 6. What I did, and what I've seen other people doing, is you come in and you farm the highest level monster you can. So when I came in, I was able to farm the dandelions right here. Since I was able to grab our buff for the actual zone, you were able to get the tier 5 as well. You could go further back, but that's only going to get you to tier 4s. So I went and farmed the dandelions. I got tier 4. Tier 4 is not as good as the level 3s that we had initially. So what I basically did is I got 4 tier 5s, and then once I finished the dandelions and the larger heads, I saw a lot of people going and farming these earth monsters in area 5, and I saw people spend hours here farming and grinding, and they were increasing their tier 5s. And you may have to do that if you're somebody with not high attack power, if you don't have a ton of CP. You may have to be stuck here. What I actually did is I went to the Corpus and the Rot route, and the reason I went here is because these do give access to tier 6, and again, those tier 6s are so much more powerful. They're more powerful than a tier 5 +7. So even if you got 1 or 2 tier 6s from the Corpus in the time it took you to grind multiple +5s in area 5, it would be worth it, because you would be getting that tier 6 and you wouldn't be kind of wasting time, so to say, grinding out and trying to upgrade your tier 5, because eventually tier 6 is just easily going to replace tier 5, no problem, right? So depending on where you're at or what your kill speed is, you may have to grind out tier 5 just a bit. If you do end up grinding out tier 5s, I would recommend leveling up 1 tier 5, not going wide on your build. Just focus on 1 tier 5, because you're going to get more penetration essentially from doing that, and you're going to be able to use that +5 or that tier 5 +10 or +9 or +8 for a little bit while you are transitioning to the +6. So when you do go to the Corpuses and the Rot route, one thing you'll notice is that your killing speed is really slow, and so there is an element of sacrifice here, where you would be farming the Rot routes and the Corpus. Essentially, you would be sacrificing your capability to get ice shards or space times. You do get like 18 and 24 space time cubes per kill now up here. You get a ton, but you can just kill these and kind of push through. The other thing you could do, which is something I think a lot of people may not think about or may not realize, is save your time until PvP opens up, save your time until the boss opens up, because you can do the boss on this floor, and the boss on this floor does drop a chest which does give you access to tier 6 and tier 5. So you could easily get your first tier 6 from here, which would help you and increase your kill speed against the corpuses to get more tier 6s. The other thing that you could do is that you could go to the shop, particularly if you've been farming on tier 1 for a while. You can actually buy, oh, where is it? I bought it. Right here. For 5,000, you can buy a sealed frozen space-time shard chest, and you will be able to get potentially a tier 5 or tier 6 from this. Another thing you may encounter is when you first unlock floor 2, you might not be able to get the frozen space-time blessing. Our server didn't. I'm just assuming it's because we unlocked it after we had our matchmaking done, and so I'm assuming once we have our matchmaking today, we'll be able to unlock it and do it relatively easily. But that may be something odd that you encounter as you do kind of experience these things. In terms of grinding out and continuing to do things on this floor, we haven't really run into a ton of like people PKing or anything like that. But of course, people don't have access here, which is really nice. But you are probably going to run into that in the future. And I do wonder about people who are just going to gain access to this area, because you're going to have people like myself or like my server who have already gained access because our server is naturally stronger, right? And we're going to basically have more of an edge against people who have already gained who are just gaining access. So it feels like for servers that are going to gain access and gain entry, they may have to struggle in terms of actually fighting an upward hill, because, you know, you all know that like Liars is powerful. Liars is going to kill people, right? But all of a sudden now I might have a tier 5 or tier 6 and you only have a tier 3. And, you know, I might be able to start killing people, right? So people who might not normally be able to PK you or kill you are going to have a significant advantage. So I wonder if we're going to see the gap between servers increase, and I wonder if we're going to see a little bit more PKing going on, just because people have the advantage here and they are able to kind of kill you a little bit more, and people who aren't able to normally kill you are going to be able to kill you too. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are excited for the next tier of Crossfields. I know I am, and I will catch you guys all later.